We're at the end of a 200-year period in which the North Atlantic region dominated the world.
Do you feel that the world is somehow seriously unsettled at the moment? Well, you should. There are actually three major global transitions happening all at once. Professor Jeffrey Sachs told the Friday Culture Hong Kong Coalition Forum recently.
There are three major transitions underway which make our world quite disrupted. And I want to clarify those. First is the geopolitical transition. We're at the end of a 200-year period in which the North Atlantic region dominated the world. And that period has ended because of especially the rise of East Asia, but more generally, the spread of knowledge, technology, of course, political sovereignty to a world that had been dominated by Europe first and then the United States after. We are in a new geopolitics. I personally welcome it because it means that there is more balance in the world, more fairness in the world. We are in a multipolar world, but we need to learn to live together in a multipolar world. And I believe that multipolarity under the United Nations Charter is the key. The second transformation, of course, is the technological transformation, which is accelerating, not just incredibly rapid, but accelerating. We are in the digital age, and digitalization is pervasive across every scientific discipline, every area of technology, and every part of our life. And this means disruption of jobs, of education, of production, of global value chains. On the whole, it can be extraordinarily positive, but of course it poses great challenges about rising inequality or the misuse of the new technologies or their militarization. So this is the second area that is in transition. The third great transition is ecological. We are in a deep global environmental crisis, mainly because economic growth has been so widespread for 200 years now that the cumulative weight of the world economy on our finite planet is now extraordinarily dangerous. And what it means is we need to change technologies and do that fast. Most importantly, we need to move from a fossil fuel-based energy system to a zero carbon energy system, wind, hydro, nuclear, geothermal, and so forth. And this is feasible. There are many technological roadmaps that show its feasibility, indeed its modest cost, but it's a major cooperative effort that's needed globally. So for the business world and for all of us, three major transformations: geopolitical, technological, and ecological. Now, what to do? I believe we need clear and global objectives, and we have them in sustainable development, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, in the Paris Climate Agreement, in the Kunming-Montreal Biodiversity Framework. What all of these in total tell us is that we need to aim cooperatively to a world that is prosperous, given our know-how, that is socially inclusive, that means fair institutions and ethics, and to a world that is environmentally sustainable. And so I think we need to take our direction from these globally agreed objectives. There's a lot of work to do. Universities play a critical role combined with business and government. That's why I'm so thrilled to be part of the City University of Hong Kong family, because great universities can play a great role in helping to chart the path forward. I think that in addition to a global shared agreement around the goals, we need two other things of great importance. One is true multilateralism. That means peaceful cooperation. The United States, my country, needs to learn to cooperate better because it became a bit arrogant, thinking, well, it's in charge, but it's not in charge anymore. The United States and China need to get along properly. They need to have dialogue, like I hope happens at the APEC summit with Presidents Biden and President Xi at the end of this month. We need the UN more than ever, and we see that in the current disastrous crisis in the Middle East, because only through the UN are we going to be able to establish a peaceful and fair global system. And the third thing we need is regional cooperation. For Hong Kong to have a zero carbon energy system requires a regional approach. The Greater Bay Area, 70 million people, 9 major global cities can work together not only for the prosperity of the Greater Bay Area, but for the prosperity of the whole world. Because if you put together the financial know-how and the technical know-how of Hong Kong with the incredible technological capacities throughout the Greater Bay Area, you have the makings of true global leadership. I want to see that kind of cooperation throughout East Asia, because I believe that China, Japan, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and the ASEAN countries really can become a world changer for the good through cooperation at the regional level. So these are my brief thoughts. Again, thank you for letting me be with you, and I'm looking forward to the discussion. Back to you, Patrick.
Thank you, Professor Sachs. And